All right, so this one's super scary. This one is going to explain why everybody needs to sleep with one eye open, okay? So in 2005...
I don't like this. I don't like it.
It's sketchy. In 2005, in Cape Elizabeth, Maine, there is a suburban bunch of houses, okay,
What is going
that
on here?
started having some break-ins, okay? Now, these weren't your normal break-ins. I'll just describe one of them. What people started happening to them is in the middle of the night, all of these houses, and everyone knows there's houses in their neighborhood that don't lock their doors. Actually, I was one of them. There was a lot of times where we didn't lock all of our doors, you know?
All doors are locked with security cameras, alarms. Our house is like Fort Knox, okay?
Yeah.
Because I live here.
So in the middle of the night, the houses that don't have their doors locked, around midnight between 12 and 2 a.m., these people were waking up to somebody standing over them.
No.
And watching them sleep, okay?
I would die. Oh, no.
Now, this happened over and over and over and over again. Now, imagine when you're just waking up in the middle of the night, okay? Most people's eyes are literally fuzzy. Like, you can't see what's going on. So, the best description that they could come up with is for the Cape Intruder was roughly 5'10", medium build, between 18 to 22, brown fuzzy hair, and dark clothing. Okay? Well, these sleep watching situations kept happening to the point where they pulled together a neighborhood watch specifically for this Cape Intruder, okay? Now, with this Cape Intruder, you guys, nothing was touched, nothing was missing, nothing was broken from any of the houses. People would just wake up, see someone watching them sleep, go to get up, and the guy would take off. Never apprehended, okay? And this was in 2005. Now, this went on for some months. Repeatedly, you know, night after night. We have multiple different occasions. This happened in February, August, and December. February, August, and December. Now,
wait, only those months?
In those months, this is when it happened and or was happening. Now, due to it happening in these months, some people theorized that this could have been a student in school.
Was this like a college town?
No, but he was young. So I'm thinking, you know, December for winter break, February for, spring break maybe, and August for summer.
February is not spring break.
Okay, well, they connected it somehow, okay, with this time.
March.
Based off where they're living. I think that depends, too, because I know that my break times in California are different than other areas in the country as well.
Yeah, but Maine's so far up north, February is like full-on winter up there.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, so it went on night after night after night. Finally, they got a neighborhood watch going where they had multiple people coming out at night to watch and check for this individual. This individual was never seen or caught outside of a home. Every single time they woke up, saw the guy standing at the end of their bed, and he took off, okay? So, we do have a police sketch, okay? And this is what one of the people came up with.
Oh.
This is him right here, and you guys will be able to see it. light-colored eyes, pretty average-shaped face.
Looks young.
A pinched nose, though. His nose is very pinched.
Thin lips.
And thin lips. So...
light hair, probably.
Yep. Light, fuzzy, brown hair, okay? So... I started doing some digging into this, checking out some videos and things like that, and there is something called Somnophilia, okay? It is an actual fetish. Now, once the police got involved, they started coming to some of the night watch programs, and they started teaching these people, because it was this serious, they started teaching these people how to take an eyewitness account to be able to create a police sketch, what to do in an instant, right? The things to look for in that split instant you catch somebody's face. They also taught them about somnophilia, and they were explaining how most people who have this fetish, go about it with another consenting adult, and nothing gets weird like this. Now, you can have an individual who is mentally unstable, a risk taker, a drug addict type personality that would take this further. A consenting adult just wouldn't cut it.
A person with like a lack of impulse control.
Yep. Their urges would overcome anything about being scared, right? So what else is interesting is there's a couple times from 2005 up until now in a few different places where this has happened multiple times, okay? So we have in 2017, I'm sorry, not 2017. 2016 in Texas, from 2016 to 2017, there was a string of B&Es where someone would break in, nothing would be taken, nothing would be touched, but they would wake up to being watched by somebody. Yes. Wild, right?
Ugh.
Yes.
So creepy.
Yes. Now, we also had this happen in Canada as well, and this one was more serious in Nova Scotia, okay? So there were over 24 different accounts where somebody was breaking in and watching people sleep. But with this individual, it escalated. It went to the point where this person started touching people while they were sleeping to see if they would wake up or not, okay? So thankfully, they caught that guy, the one who was escalating this, because I tried searching everywhere. Is this a red flag for some serial killer stuff, right? Is this a red flag for a sexual assault situation, okay? Everything I read says no, that it's not. But it would escalate to a point where it would make anyone involved super uncomfortable, as it already was, okay? But what shocked me here is the fact that this is much more common than I would originally think. When I first started reading the story, I was like, oh, this is super creepy, man. Somebody just breaking in with the sole purpose of standing there and watching you sleep, okay? I watched a couple videos, you guys, and I'll post up a couple of them here, where there was this couple who had a camera in their front room, a hidden camera to keep watch on everything or whatever when they're there or when they're not, and they're sleeping on the couch below. This guy broke in on the second story up here, and he stood on top of the stairs, okay, for 18 minutes, standing at the top watching them. So how long do you think these guys who broke in to watch people sleep in their own beds were standing there?
God, who knows?
What does this fetish even entail? So
do they stand there and jerk off?
I couldn't find anything having to do with that, but I'm assuming so because it's a fetish. So they're getting some sort of gratification here from watching people sleep. Maybe it has to do with the fact that they know the person that's sleeping doesn't know they're there. I don't know. But each time, what's really weird is these guys, it's almost like they want to be caught and run away. Like that's part of it, okay? Well, this guy in Cape Elizabeth never got caught, okay? He went this whole time until all of a sudden these things just stopped, all right? All we have is this photo left here. Now, here is something super interesting, you guys. So when I was researching this, okay, I was pulling up accounts, firsthand accounts of this happening. I came across a firsthand account of a couple, a 91-year-old couple in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, okay? They were sleeping, this 91-year-old couple. Their dog started barking and making noise, okay? This couple is in the habit of leaving some lights on in their house or a TV. In this case, it was a TV. So the woman gets up. They sleep nude, which hats off to them, 91, still doing the dirty. But she gets up with the dog and grabs a flashlight and goes to walk around her house. Doesn't see anything at first glance. When she goes to turn off the TV, she's completely nude in her own home, okay? She turns the corner and comes face to face with a guy. Okay?
Oh, okay.
And this guy, once seen, runs off, takes off, okay? She immediately calls the police. The police says they pick this guy up. And when he's picked up with drugs in his pocket. Suboxone, which is a drug for like normally for people to get off opiates of any kind or whatever.
To prevent withdrawal when you're coming off of something like heroin or something.
Well, this guy didn't have a prescription, okay, and he was picked up and charged with breaking and entering and a drug offense with it, all right? Now, I want you to look at these two pictures, okay?
Okay.
And I'll put them up here.
Oh. The eyes.
The
and the
eyes.
pinched nose.
The nose. Even the lips.
Yeah.
Even the placement of the ears. Look, ears grow bigger, but the placement when the measurements between the eyes and the ears and the nose and the mouth somewhat stay the same, okay?
Interesting.
Same type of hair.
Yep.
Now, nobody's made this connection. When I was looking this up, it's not like this connection was presented to me. I just happened to be reading. I looked at this photo first, okay? And as I was reading situations, because as I'm going through this, I'm like, okay, this is super weird, right? So I start looking to see if there's been other areas in the U.S. where this happened. This is when I found out, okay, it's happening in Nova Scotia, in a couple other areas in Canada. It happened in Texas. It happened in California, like all these things. Then I came across this here, which had his picture blasted on the link. And I was like, whoa, that looks like the sketch.
And where is this again? Where did you say it was?
This is 3 hours. So when he's arrested here, this is 3 hours from Cape Elizabeth. Only 3 hours, okay?
That's pretty close.
The hair is the same, and the age.
It would be.
The age. This was in 2017. This was in 2005. The difference in age here is about 12 years, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. 12 years difference. And you know what's funny?
How old is he there? Do you know?
34, I think.
Oh, okay.
So
Totally plausible then as a teenager.
Totally possible. I want to know what you guys think, because I go hunt this down, go sleuth on it, because I just happened to come across this. There is nothing saying that these are connected. But what's interesting with this guy here, right? He got charged with a B&E, and the police had automatically made the assumption that he was there for theft. However, nothing was stolen. They have no idea how long he was in that house.
Weird.
They had no idea that a 91-year-old could have been turning the corner with a flashlight. None whatsoever. I think it's very possible he was going in to do the same thing and got caught. Weird, right? Mm-hmm. Really strange. And so weirdly similar.
It is.
Light-colored eyes.
And the pinched nose.
The pinched nose is a huge deal.
Yeah.
Light, fuzzy hair. That is totally fuzzy hair.
I agree with you. It's definitely weird.
I want to know what you guys think. Now, this is scary, though.
I'm glad they're not hurting anybody, but...
That's a major intrusion.
It's a major intrusion.
And they could totally be shot.
Yeah.
Because I start thinking, how do they make sure they're not going to get hurt? Okay, it's pretty obvious that they're going in there, and there's some kind of element about getting caught that fetishizes this more for them, right? That gets them bought into it more.
Yeah.
How do they know there's not some other adult in the house that has a gun next to their bed and doesn't happen to turn a corner and drop them?
Okay, but also, like, I'm thinking in the mind of this person, if you have a fetish and you're a reasonable person, you find ways to carry out that fantasy in a healthy, consensual way.
This guy's a drug addict.
Is super risky. Like, you have no impulse control if you're breaking into people's houses to carry out a fetish.
And the guy that got caught with the 91-year-old had drugs in his pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, which adds
impulse
to
control
the
issues.
type of person that would have this fetish and not be able to control the urges, not be able to do it the right way with a consenting adult, you know? And I could see a ton of different ways. Like, there's a lot of people in the fetish world that are very understanding that would be like, yeah, okay, I could get into this. I'll consent to you being able to come in randomly, you know, between this time and this time, unless I reach out and say no.
There's
for
people
this
that
night.
set stuff up like that
All the time. So,
but
I thought it was scary.
But I get that fetish.
Somnophilia.
But say this person also has a fetish for R word or something else. To say that it can't escalate to something further. They have an impulse problem.
It can escalate.
It absolutely can.
Yeah, that guy in Nova Scotia started touching people.
Yeah, but...
to probably to get them to wake up. If I had to guess, the wake-up element is a very big deal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why do they hang around until people wake up?
Right.
There's something to that. I've never encountered somebody with this fetish in real life that I've met, so I have no idea. I've never been able to ask anybody.
Right.
Am I able to try and find this person on social media and ask questions? I don't know.
I would like to talk to anybody who has this fetish, even if they, like, carry it out in a normal way.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't
mean it in a negative.
Yeah,
like,
no, I know. But I'm super curious because it's just not... like very common.
Yeah, it's not very common at all. And, you know, having a lot of information and experience and, you know, the fetish type stuff, I haven't heard of this. I've never come across somebody who's like,
have I at all.
Yeah, I'm totally into just watching people sleep when they don't know, you know?
I've seen like doll play, like where someone pretends to be a doll and stuff like that, but never sleep.
So let me ask you this, okay? One, do you think that could be him? I feel confident it could be, dude.
I think it's very possible.
It's within... So Kate Cape Cod is within 3 hours from Cape Elizabeth, you guys, okay? That just happened to stop. That could have been him when he's in high school. 12 years pass. He's now getting these urges again, or has never stopped, and we don't know. Other question for you. How many times did people not wake up? Was this being done every night? Was this...
People like you who don't wake up to anything.
Yeah. Was this first picture him first and fully realizing this fetish? You know what I mean? This thing coming to life and not understanding how to manage or handle or something like that. So he was doing it every night? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
How many people did he do this to? How did he stop? Like, all these things are really interesting questions to me because this is a different fetish. And if you have this fetish, I'm not putting you down.
Yeah.
It's just things go bump in the night type thoughts, you know what I mean? That I could be sleeping and somebody's standing there watching.
Well, nobody wants to feel like they're being watched. Like that,
Agreed.
as a human, that triggers your survival instincts. Like, that's why, like, nighttime is scary
not
for
always,
us.
but at night
Feeling like you're
with-
being watched, that's like a sixth sense where you're like, okay, am I in danger?
I guess so.
Absolutely. I
Well,
think
it just
everybody,
doesn't bother
like,
me.
running up the stairs and being like, trying to get to the top as fast as you can, and being like, oh shit, is something behind me? Like, I do that almost every time I run up the stairs.
Yeah.
Like, I always feel like something's behind me, but I know it's not.
Yeah, I don't ever feel that.
Yeah, because you're not normal.
Okay, but even people watching me, that doesn't bother me. Like, if someone was staring at me, it wouldn't bother me. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, they're just zoning out or something. Like,
okay, but
I
that's in a
create
public
logical...
setting. We're talking about in the privacy of your home, somebody random, like, staring at you, and you don't know they're there, and they're just a random stranger that broke into your house.
I wonder if that's common. I don't know. You think
not
that's
talking about
common, that
common.
people feel like they could be like that weird sensation?
When they're
think that's
actually
common?
being watched?
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Okay, sixth
now,
sense. Yes.
randomly,
So I do believe in that because the antenna that we've talked about multiple times that gives off a frequency of brain. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but I was just
Got it.
comparing it to, like, running up the stairs, that feeling you have of questioning, am I being watched? Am I in danger? Like, stuff like that.
No, I got you now.
Like, it's scary to feel that way.
Yeah.
And you don't know if you're truly in some kind of peril or life-threatening situation.
Agree.
You don't know what this person is doing there, if their intention is to harm you or not, or if they're going to come back if you saw them run off. I just can't imagine, like, people living in other people's houses and, like, the thing we were talking about at the beginning.
I know.
I would freak out.
Yeah.
I would freak out.
Absolutely. But I'll show you guys one more picture of the side-by-side, okay? Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
I want to know. Did I happen to accidentally stumble across something here, okay? And I almost want to try and find them on, like, social media. Well, I've done very limited digging so far, but I am going to continue digging. So
Okay. Yeah, you should.
let
And
us know what you think.
Let us know if you woke up in the middle of the night to someone standing over you, what would you do?
Yeah. Woo.
I would just scream as loud as possible.
Yeah.
And probably try to kick them in the nuts if they had nuts.
I think I would probably go after them because I know myself. So I do really good in stressful situations, and then normally I freak out after I know that, like, everything's good and safe. And my first thought would be Night Stalker. So I would think right away that I need to get the upper hand. So they better run fast. Like, get out of here quick, you know? Make sure I can't catch you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what would happen. And then once I realized everything was okay, I'd probably need to pass out or something.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Eat a bunch of ice cream.
Something.
Pass out.